Hi everybody, for those that can't make Friday's class, this is the cornflake cake that we're going to be making. What I'm doing is a smaller version, so I'm just halving it. But you've got all the ingredients that you need on the message. I've got some pastry that I had in my freezer over from something before, so I thought I'd make a little one. So all I'm going to do is just quickly roll this pastry out, but what you'll have hopefully is the ready rolled out short crust pastry, so that you can just cut it into your tin. But I'll come back to you in a second when I've rolled this out. Right, I've rolled my pastry out, but as I say, you should have the ready rolled pastry. If not, you roll it out as normal till it's the size that you want, whether you're using a round or a square tin. But what you need is a lip coming out the side, because what we're doing is we're putting the cornflake and syrup in there, so it sits like a little pastry case. So what I'm going to do now is line this, and what I've got is I've greased my tin, so you need to grease and line the tin. And I've got some more grease-proof paper. I'm going to put on, first thing I'm going to do, sorry, is prick the pastry with a fork just all over it, because what we don't want is the pastry to rise at all, so we need to take the air out. So I'm just pricking it, I'll show you, all over. You've got lots of pricks, and I'm going to put the greaseproof in this, and then what I've got is these are called baking beans, that I just got, I think from Morrison's or something that I got. But don't worry if you haven't got these, I'll just put them. What we do is this is to weight the pastry down. So I don't need all of these because I've only got a small tin. But you just put it so it's all over like that. If you haven't got that, then all you do is get some uncooked rice and pour that in instead of the beans. And what you do is you just press them down so all the corners done, so you don't want it to rise up, and just make a little pocket with the greaseproof, because what you want to be able to do when it's cooked is lift that out if you can. And with rice it's quite awkward, but if you get any spit on the pastry, you just pick it up. So I'm going to put this in the oven for 15 minutes, and then when that's done, I'll take out the beans and the greaseproof and put it back in the oven for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to weigh out some ingredients in the saucepan. You need 50 grams of butter. I've just got some softened butter. You can use margarine if you want. I'm halving this, so I'm only putting. So it's 50 grams of butter into the saucepan. There we go. And it's 125 grams of golden syrup. Put that back to naught. I like the squeezy jars of this because it comes out easier. So here it goes. Just on my scale, I was just going to measure it out. Probably going to need the other one. Leave it upside down for a bit. Open my new one. There we go, that's mine. I'm halving it. And then 25 grams of light brown sugar. Don't worry, if you haven't got light brown, you can use caster sugar or Neil's sugar. This just gives it a more like fudgy taste, so I don't need that much. Add that in. And all I'm going to do now is keep mixing this. You don't want this to boil, so it's going to go on the heat, onto a low heat, to mix it all slowly, so all the butter melts and the sugar melts. So I'm going to stir it the whole time. So I've just melted the sugar, butter, syrup, and the pinch of salt. I forgot to say that. Just add a little pinch of salt into that, just so the butter's melted. You don't want that to boil. And then you've got your 200 grams of cornflakes, sorry, 100 grams of cornflakes. I've got half of that here, so I've got 50. And you just mix that in so that all the cornflakes are coated in the syrup. Obviously you don't want to crush the cornflakes, so just be gentle as you can with it, but it smells divine. Right, the pie's been in, the pastry's been in for 10 minutes, and all I'm going to do now is take off the beans, this is when it's good to have a lip and the grease proof, so they should all just lift out. There you go. Put them back in my pot. I'm going to return the pastry to the oven for 10 minutes, for 7 minutes. Just to finish it off flaking. There we go. The pastry case had the extra 7 minutes in the oven, and now I've cooled it for about 10 minutes. And we're going to put some jam in it. I've got raspberry. My favourite jam is raspberry or strawberry, and I'm just going to put it into the tin and spread it around. You can put this as thick or as thin as you want around the base of your case, and I'll show you when I'm done. So this is a taste preference on how you want it. There you go, so that's just mine smothered in jam, and then you pour in the cornflakes with the syrup mixture into your case. Spread it out and then just push it down slightly. It's covered all the jam. Mine's going in all the corners. You push it down. It's going to set when it bakes. Take that off there. Oh, I can't tell you, well, you'll know when you're doing this how good this tastes. You just press it down. It's all in. I probably didn't do my sides up high enough for the pastry, so keep your pastry sides a little bit higher than mine if you want to when you're cutting it. I'll put that on the tips at the beginning. And if I didn't say, I'll also put in the oven. It's on 160. Now I'm going to bung this back in the oven for about 5 minutes until it's a little bit golden brown, and I'll show you the end result. It's out the oven, and all you do now is leave it for a bit to set, and you're ready to eat it. Mine was in the oven for about 7 minutes, I think, just to cook it off, and as it cools, it hardens and it all sets, and there you go, yummy old-fashioned cornflake cake to cut up and eat as you want.